lineup is complete, the lights are red, and the charge is on in the Austrian Grand Prix. It looks like a good start from Romboni. And indeed it is Romboni on the number 10 machine that gets away well. 65 there is Loris Capirossi, 18 Tadayuki Okada, but it's Loris Capirossi who leads into the first corner for Helmut Bradl, the winner here 2 years ago. Just look at that mass of riders around the first chicane. There's hardly enough room for them as they charge down towards the first of the sweeping long right-handed corners. This corner takes them around and they begin their long climb up the hill about now, but it's Loris Capirossi that leads the 250cc charge in the Austrian Grand Prix at the Salzburg Ring. 2.626 miles is the distance for a single lap of the circuit. And just look at that, it's going to be very close indeed. The rest of the field squeezes through, but already the leaders around the Faralager curve. That's the paddock there, and just look at how much the field is spread out already. Fireworks greeting the arrival of, no doubt, the Austrian Andy Preining, but it's Loris Capirossi still leading, Doriano Romboni, Helmut Bradl, then it's Tadayuki Okada and Max Biaggi. Oh, and someone running very wide there, 44, that's Jean-Michel Bayle. Bayle, the former world motocross champion, he's been off twice already this weekend, and if he carries on like that, he'll be off again. Now, the leading three appear to have broken away slightly. Capirossi, Romboni and Bradl in line astern. Oh dear, 21, Paolo Casali riding right across the curb. Well, you have to use every inch of the track, but that's taking it a bit too far. And here our unique rear view from Andy Preining's machine. And if you're wondering who Dolly Buster is, well, that's Andy Preining's sponsor. And how shall we put it? Well, she's a young lady that appears regularly in magazines, quite famous in Austria apparently. Now, side by side at the front of the field, Doriano Romboni and Loris Capirossi, but Capirossi just keeps it wound on long enough to shut out Romboni. It's still the former world 125 champion in the lead, but Romboni goes up the inside. It's Romboni now that leads. Doriano Romboni on the number 10 machine, 6th in the World Championship at the moment. He's scored in every round, but he's got some ground to make up. There, the worm's eye view of the 250cc contenders as they flash past flat out on these 250cc machines. Romboni it is that leads from Capirossi, then it's Helmut Bradl. 5 is Massimo Biaggi, Max Biaggi, 31 Tetsuya Harada moving up the field ahead of Tadayuki Okada on the Rothmans Honda. Oh, just look at that action, fantastic stuff. 20 Eskil Suter, well, there's a very surprising name that's up there. And well down the field, John Kaczynski obviously didn't have a very good start on the 250cc Lucky Strike Suzuki, so he's left himself with a lot of work to do. Back to the Salzburg Ring and the Austrian Grand Prix, and it's still a terrific battle at the front between Helmut Bradl and Doriano Romboni, with Loris Capirossi mixing it in there as well. It's the two HB Hondas at the front though, and just look at that posse behind trying to catch up with the race leaders. John Kaczynski still fighting a forlorn battle to try and haul his way up through the field. The fastest lap has gone to Loris Capirossi, who was the early leader. There's 19 laps to go now of this 26-lap race. There's the action from Helmut Bradl's bike as he flashes past the start line, past the pits. Doriano Romboni goes past him, but he immediately tries to fight back as they approach the chicane. But it's changed again, and now it's Loris Capirossi out front. And it looked then as if Bradl was going up the inside, but Loris Capirossi had that move covered. He just moved over slightly. It's the Marlboro Honda of Loris Capirossi that leads. Helmut Bradl in second place, then Doriano Romboni. Oh, and there's a faller, and that is Tadayuki Okada. Okada goes down. Oh dear, oh dear, and Okada there, well, he reacted instinctively to try and run away, but it looks from here as if he ran across the path of those motorcycles. Poor Tadayuki Okada out of the race, just as I was saying that there was two Rothmans Hondas following. There is now only one, and that belongs to Max Biaggi, who's now in 4th position. That's not Tadayuki Okada at all. That's Bear by the looks of it. Down goes Okada. Biaggi forced to avoid the action, and that just, it doesn't look very fast from the head-on camera, but that gives you an idea of just how quick it is. And Okada running for his life across to the safety of the grass at the side of the circuit. And there is Okada, who's obviously quite shaken by that incident. Tadayuki Okada, well, he was fit enough to run to the side of the track, but Tadayuki Okada out of the proceedings, receiving attention there at the trackside from the efficient Austrian marshals. Meanwhile, at the front, Doriano Romboni, Helmut Bradl and Loris Capirossi, Max Biaggi, Tetsuya Harada and Loris Reggiani. And that's the view from our rear-facing camera as Okada goes cartwheeling down the track, and he's obviously desperate to get out of the way as soon as he possibly can, and who can blame him? Well, the trio who've been battling away right since the green light, Romboni, Bradl and Capirossi at the head of the field in this Austrian Grand Prix, providing terrific action around the Salzburg ring circuit. Two HB Hondas, followed by the Marlboro Honda of Loris Capirossi, the ex-World 125cc champion. And see the ambulance on the track there at the trackside as Tadayuki Okada receives some attention there from the trackside medics, and that can't do the concentration of the leading trio any good at all as they flick through the chicane. Biaggi, Harada and Reggiani following them. This again, the view from Bradl's Honda. Just look at that angle of lean as they crank it right-handed. The power full on for the blast up the hill. That's the top six. Romboni from Bradl, Capirossi, Biaggi, Harada and Reggiani. He's the local hero here in Austria. With 10 laps of the race to go, it's that same trio dictating things at the front of the field. The two yellow Hondas indulging in a private battle. Bradl from Romboni, but Capirossi still very much sticking in there. Capirossi will desperately want to win this one. He's currently only 9th in the championship, and a win here would do wonders to his championship challenge. Tetsuya Harada for once is down the field. His worst performance of the year so far was a 2nd place in Malaysia, where he was beaten by Nobuatsu Aoki, who we just saw exiting from the Austrian Grand Prix. But into the chicane again. Just look at that back wheel going light and hopping as they're hard on the brakes for the chicane. Biaggi, Harada and Reggiani. This the rear view from one of the bikes as John Kaczynski picks up a place. Well, that's Andy Preining, in fact, who's facing front and rear and losing a place to John Kaczynski on the Suzuki. Romboni, Bradl and Capirossi up the hill. And the power of Capirossi's bike showing itself then Capirossi trying to go through on the inside, but doesn't quite make it this time. Capirossi in third place. Now, a group of slower riders, of tail-enders, could make a difference here. It could break up this leading trio. They'll all want to get through cleanly and safely. And they're through at the moment. There's one man ahead of them, but he'll have seen the blue flags. He'll know that he's got to slow down. For fourth, fifth and sixth men, Biaggi, Harada and Reggiani. And the leading trio all safely through past that group of back markers without anything untoward occurring. It's still Romboni, Bradl and Capirossi, followed by Biaggi. That's terrific stuff as they change direction through that series of corners. Up the hill again is still Romboni, Bradl and Capirossi, followed by now Harada in fourth position. So Harada has picked up a place or two ahead of Reggiani and Biaggi. But this leading trio absolutely glued together at the front, jostling for position, each one trying to get the slightest advantage. And that is the gap between first and fifth. 5.1 seconds separating them. Such is the pace of this leading trio. You have to say that it's going to be between these three: Romboni, Bradl and Capirossi. Helmut Bradl, the winner here. Last time the Grand Prix was run, I beg your pardon, in 1991. There was no Grand Prix here last year. Now, the gap between the leader and that chasing group. And it looks like Bradl has made his move. He'll be determined to get past as many of these tail-enders as he possibly can. Well, he didn't do as well as he was hoping then. He's trying to ride around the outside. He goes around the outside, but there's somebody there. I think that Capirossi has taken the opportunity to move up place. Yes, indeed he has. And that didn't work out as well as it might have done for Bradl. It's Bradl, Capirossi and Romboni. Still a long gap, 25. Well, that's Jürgen van der Gorberg, the Dutch rider. But he's a lap down. Bradl on the number 4 bike, on the distinctive red Marlboro Honda. Oh dear, what a massive shake of the head there as he jumped the curb. Bradl, Capirossi and Romboni. And that's Jean-Pierre Jondin on the number 51 machine. Just 3 laps to go, 3 laps to decide the outcome of this enthralling three-way battle that has raged throughout this 26 lap Austrian Grand Prix. And it's Capirossi moving back into the lead, so it looks like Helmut Bradl seized his opportunity just a touch too soon. It's the Italian that leads, well, one of the 2 Italians that leads, Capirossi. Oh, and round the outside. What a superb manoeuvre there. But has he overdone it? Yes, indeed he has. The 2 come together. Did they touch then? Well, the 2 Italians are known, of course, for a bit of fiery temperament. It looked as if they came very close indeed, if they didn't actually touch then. Capirossi from Romboni, the 2 Italians out front, with the German Helmut Bradl right behind them. Bradl currently in 7th place in the championship. Romboni is 6th. Capirossi in 9th place. And the Europeans really beginning to come to the fore in this Austrian Grand Prix. With 2 laps to go, charging up the hill, it's Doriano Romboni and Loris Capirossi. 24 years of age, Romboni, Just 20 on the 4th of April was Loris Capirossi, already with 2 world titles under his belt in the 125cc category. And it's Capirossi that leads. That's the top 6. Biaggi, Harada and Reggiani fighting their own personal battle. But it's going to be one of these 3 that grabs the 25 World Championship points that go with victory this year. A gap of 5 points between first and second, so it is well worth making that final bit of effort, summoning up that final reserve to make the difference between winning and finishing runner-up. It's Capirossi at the moment holding the upper hand, but not by much. It could still go any way. Capirossi, Romboni and Bradl, 1, 2 and 3. Bradl, very deep thinking rider, will have tried to work out where he can possibly gain a bit of advantage, but these 3 look so even that I think it's unlikely any of them are going to make a mistake. It's going to be just a straight race. Still Capirossi and Romboni side by side, and they actually touched there. They definitely clashed fairings there, and Doriano Romboni got the advantage from it, because it's Romboni that leads, and maybe that will have got Capirossi even madder, because the 2 definitely banged fairings there, Doriano Romboni and Loris Capirossi. Well, fireworks all the way in this Austrian 250cc Grand Prix. And would Helmut Bradl be the one to pick? Oh, and a massive slide there for Helmut Bradl. A desperate moment for him, but it's Romboni that wins his first Grand Prix. Capirossi settles for 20 World Championship points and second place. A massive slide from Helmut Bradl meant he finished in 3rd place. But it's Doriano Romboni, a new name on the list of Grand Prix victors. The Italian flag, the red, white and green flag of Italy, is held aloft by Doriano Romboni after a terrific Austrian Grand Prix, a superb race between Romboni, Capirossi and Helmut Bradl, which wasn't decided until the dive in towards the line. Well, traditionally in Austria you get this open-air presentation on the start line, on the bank by the side of the start line. And this is the final run-in towards the line by the looks of it. Helmut Bradl trying absolutely everything, but I think he'd staked all on making his move a little bit earlier on. Capirossi finishing in 2nd place, and the fireworks greeting the 3 men who made this such a terrific Austrian Grand Prix. This is Bradl's eye view of that incident when the 2 Italians definitely touched on that final lap. Well, it was all or nothing for them. They were both aiming for the same piece of tarmac, and 2 into 1 just won't go. Doriano Romboni gets the upper hand. That was the decisive move of the race, and it's Romboni that wins by 0.05 of a second from Capirossi. Bradl is 3rd. The battle won by Loris Reggiani for 4th place, ahead of Biaggi and Harada.